fostering innovation, encouraging the development of new or significantly improved goods, services, and ideas. That's what fostering innovation means. But when we think of innovation, we think of robots, sleek designs, compact phones, and holograms. But would this innovation be possible without word of mouth, spread of ideas and events, or printing on paper? I don't think so. And that's what makes innovation so beautiful. It occurs in all parts of our lives. And the innovation in news is one I find so captivating. It's the road that helps us keep driving. News and media have been used to sway opinion, share knowledge, and feed the human desire. The desire to know what's going on, why it's going on, and how it may affect us. The first example of properly spreading information across civilizations was through the use of messengers in ancient Egypt, who had carved messages into temples, creating the first example of state-controlled information. Greeks ran between cities, Persians across the country on designated roads. So much of our society lies on this concrete foundation. A messenger once ran 42 kilometers straight to get to Athens and alert the people of a military victory, creating the marathon. Cylon perfected paper in China. The Romans carved news into metal or rock and placed in the town square. The Chinese created an elite newsletter called Di Bao. The Romans followed suit and even created a postal system. Fast forward a bit and we've created the Gutenberg press. But the steam press, printing 1,100 pages per hour, turned news into a business. Pages were printed, issues were sold, information was shared, and advertising, all done between the Gutenberg press and the steam-powered press. Reporters interrogated, stories uncovered, and reporting and journalism gave professionals the edge. Hundreds turned into thousands, thousands into tens of thousands. News became a one-man game. ABC, CBS, and NBC ruled the United States. Reporters uncovered stories to feed the hungry mouths of those who want to know what's going on so that they can protect themselves. Developments in society such as pictures, radio, and television made news have one eye, see for all. So what makes news such a key part of our life? I would put it down to curiosity, a biological factor that makes us unique. We are curious because we want to know what's going on around us. And by knowing what's going on around us, we can improve our knowledge of our surroundings, quell anxiety, and improve our chances of survival. It's why in a horror movie, they investigate that mysterious sound, because if they can figure out what's causing that sound, they can tailor a solution. It's inherently logical. Knowing what's going on around us helps us create order, something many humans alike are inclined to. They say curiosity killed the cat, but I'd argue non-instinctual curiosity is exclusive to humans. In research done by David and Ann Premack, researchers taught Sarah the chimpanzee sign language, cues of communications, and symbols, but they found that she never asked a question to herself. Even when they tried to force her to ask a question in an interrogation scenario, she didn't. Later, the two wrote a book by the name of The Mind of an Ape, where they wrote that she could respond and understand basic questions, but never had that same waking curiosity, like a toddler does when they're left alone with their parents. This proves to us that curiosity and the desire to know what's going on is a metacognitive process exclusive to humans. That's why news has the effect that it does, because it scratches an itch that only becomes noticeable when we know that there's a possibility of it being out there. That unknown makes us want to know. The news is constantly affecting our mental space by playing to our schema, our mental framework that helps us interpret information. By using emotive language and they push an established view and make you feel a certain way. Why show truthful and unbiased news when you can appease to some and build a strong consumer base? Why show hopeful news when you can show negative news that feeds our fear? After all, fear causes curiosity, and curiosity created the news. As we see a shift towards larger networks, where journalism and reporting remain supreme, we see the little guy lose his voice. No longer can we as people express the news ourselves. Or can we? The use of tools such as social media and the internet, for lack of better words, have greatly innovated news. Now everyone has access to information. Everyone can dig, and everyone can share. It's something that happens very rarely in this life, when something so innately human goes private. It becomes about monetization. But sometimes, only sometimes, we can take it back, make it ours again, and regain possession. Nowadays, it's easier than ever to post a video. You can formulate an argument, and you can pull research straight from your search bar. Many have seen the shift online as negative, as random, unimportant topics are covered, but I see it differently. Once again, news is our tool, the people's tool. We can talk about what we want to talk about, look at information from multiple viewpoints and multiple sources, and we can fact check against one another, just like that. We force a clear outlook on the news. And and combating that single source bias feeds our curiosity. And just like that, the news is raw again. And it feeds our desire with the juiciest steak out there. There's resources now such as Ground News, which tell us the biased sources of news, tell us what they want us to know and what they don't want us to know. Because something needs to be said, someone will say it. News is something that's been through a lot. Been sold as something for the elites or something for the masses. But either way, it feeds the human desire. Desire to know what's going on. And no matter how negative or untrue it may be, we can combat that. Because innovation aims to make things better. And it's hard to think that news will get better than this. But it can. And it will. This metacognitive desire to know what's going on makes humans human. And I think we should keep on feeding that feeling. Because knowing what's going on helps us make better decisions. Helps us protect ourselves. And because we know what could happen, and because we know what could happen, it's no longer new to us. So maybe being hooked on headlines isn't so bad after all.